Hello, traders. Welcome to our weekly Forex analysis for the week of April the 6th to the 10th. We've seen quite some wonderful moves in the markets this past week. With the news of vaccines coming out for the coronavirus, we've seen reduced volatility, I would say, in some of the pairs. We've seen them move quite within some particular ranges. Now, without wasting much of your time, let's go to the business of the day. I'm looking at the GBP USD pair, and we're looking at the weekly time frame. Now, from what we've seen here so far, what I anticipated based on the price action of 2 weeks ago, we saw quite a strong bullish candle that closed really bullish. We had a bullish engulfing. We've now seen something like a harami being formed. The whole of the week had little or no movement. The range was rather small, and we've seen prices just being capped somewhat between 200 pips, 200 pip range. Now, with what we've seen so far, well, I'm expecting some further move to the downside. Let's look at it from the daily point of view. From the daily, we can see that we had an exhaustion here. The whole of about 4 days, we had some bit of exhaustion here, and there's resumed momentum to the bottom area. And what we expect to do when the market opens on Monday is to place a sell stop below the low of Friday's candle. The low is at 1.2205. So we keep a 20 pips sell stop somewhere around 1.2295 or 1.2290, and we'll be trading it down to this area. That's around, we'll take it to 1.1610. That will be where I'll be taking my profits, 1.1610. Although I don't look at price based just off what I have just done here, I look at price as it unfolds on a daily basis. And once my entry is triggered, I keep observing and watching, and based on what the price action I see informs my decisions on a daily basis. Well, I'm supposed to have told you this. This video is for educational purposes. You need sound financial advice to put your money out there in the Forex market to invest. For those who are new here, I also urge you to subscribe to this channel. If it has been beneficial to you, click the like button and hit the notification bell for those who are subscribing newly so that you get notified when I bring out new videos on YouTube. Now, the next pair I'll be looking at is the pound Canadian dollar pair. In most of the moves we analyzed for this past week, we are quite spot on. I was expecting retracements, and we found out that with the reduced volatility, price just stayed with the retracement and didn't continue any further. So we were quite in profits on all 6 pairs I analyzed. Now, with what we have here on the pound Canadian dollar, sorry. Let's look at the weekly. I have a bird's eye view of what price actions we have based on the weekly time frame. Now, on the weekly, we see here a doji is formed. Price retraced and went, like I said, just as we analyzed. We said wanted a small retracement and a move to 1.7750, and price action just gave us just that. It got there and has come back as a doji, or we could say looks like a hammer, an inverted hammer. Now, this also gives us the price action tells us market as prices have lost steam and most likely might continue higher or would continue lower, because doji tells us market is tired and there's indecision in the market. Now, the next I look at is I zoom in to get a clearer picture of what market or price is actually going to do. From what I have here, based on this price action, we've seen price got here, rejected here, tried to go up and couldn't reach it again. We had somewhat something like a spinning top, or what I call it, a doji, before we had this move to the downside. And from what I have here, I expect more bearish bearish opportunities in the dollar, Canadian dollar pair. So what we will be doing is we'll take a sell entry and we can zoom in to get a better entry from where we're seeing now. Looking at the let's look at the 4 hours. Now from the 4 hour candle, what I'll do is I'll place a sell stop. The low of Friday is at 1.7265. So I place a 10 pip sell stop at 1.7255. And remember, with all the pending orders we put, please remember we use a stop loss. Our stop loss is always 20 pips. If you're putting the 20 pips pending on that, it's a 20 pip sell stop either above or below the candle we're entering. By that I mean, if you're taking this, in this case, you're looking at a sell stop, I'll be putting a 10 pip sell stop above this high. The high here is at 1.7435. So I put a 10 pip sell stop, a stop loss above this candle at 1.7445, while I allow prices to hit my TP and continue downwards. Of course, we should use good money management strategies to keep us in the market. Now, with that said, I'll be looking forward to see price going to the next key level of support, and that's at the 1.71 handle. I expect price to go a bit further beyond that. Let me just plot the Fibonacci so we get a better view of what market is going to do. Let me draw my fibs from most recent swing low to this here. So I'm looking up to see price coming as low as let me make this a bit lower, from this swing low to the swing high. So I expect price to get to as low as 1.7020. So we're looking at almost like a 200 pips move. Prices could go beyond this point, but I'll be on the safe side. We can take profits here. If prices breaks and closes below 1.7015, I'll be looking forward to price coming way down to the origin. That's around the 1.6665 area, around here, 1.6665 area. Once prices breaks and closes below this point. Now, the next I'm looking at is gold. Gold too has somewhat lost some bit of steam. We've not seen the volatility we've seen with previous weeks. Now, what we have here, we've just seen a hammer candle formed for the week, for this past week. And with what we have here, I'm expecting prices to get to the top of our candle formed 2 weeks ago. The top here is at 1644. Let's zoom in to get a clearer picture. 1644. So I want to see price get to this area and retrace downwards, forming a double top. But we're not market makers. I'm not a market maker. I wouldn't know what the price is going to do. But I basically expect this because I'm seeing some bit of um, reduced momentum to the upside. So, but if we have a break and close above the high at 1.1644, once we close above it, we'll be looking forward to the next key level of resistance at 1666. But basically, if we see any reversals around here, the next I'll be looking at for price getting to is this point at 1525, the 1525 area. Let me use the fibs to get some bit of clarity here. Let's see. Yeah. So we could see prices get to as low as 1497 area. It could get as low as one. So let's basically, if we see reversals around here, the 1644 area, I'll be looking for to sell at this area. And I'll be taking my profits at the 1500 handle. Let's leave room for spread, and that will stay quite profitable. That would be somewhat almost 1,000 pips move if prices play out the way we are seeing it now. Otherwise, I said if we have a break and close above this high at 1644 area, we'll be looking forward to getting to the next key level of resistance as at 1666. The next I'll be looking at is USD Canadian dollar. And for that, we've also seen quite some good moves. We've been quite profitable with these trades as they unfold. Now, with this, what we had, I said I was looking forward to a retracement. And because volatility has been reduced, what we've just had is just the retracement and no follow-up per se. Right now, what we have here, I'll be expecting moves to the downside. Now, let's look at it on the daily. In the daily time frame, what we have, we can see that we had quite some strong move to the downside, and our move trying to retrace this move has been rather shallow, and we see the bodies of the candles very small. So what I'll be looking for to see is a distinct reversal pattern here, and we continue lower, or we could place a sell stop, a 10 pip sell stop below the low of Friday, and that low is at 1.4093. So we can put a sell stop at 1.4080 and aim for the next level of, that's not the next level, but I think we could aim for 1.3720. That would be my take here, 1.3720, and watch how prices unfold. Now, the next I'll look at is USD JPY, the dollar yen pair. And for this also, we've had some wonderful moves in the market. Let's look at the weekly pair, sorry, weekly time frame. Let me take off this Fibonacci quickly. Good. Now, what we have here, we saw the price action for 2 weeks ago was quite bullish. Sorry, quite bearish. and because of reduced volatility, we've seen just a small, we call this a harami, quite small in range, formed the USD yen pair. I better zoom in to take a better view of where we can place our entries. Now, from the daily, what we are still seeing here is some choppy movements this way. What I'm expecting is a continuation to the downside. Now, where do we enter from? We will taking our entries from a 10 pips sell stop below the low of Friday. Then the low is at 107.80. So a 10 pips sell stop will be at 107.70 area. And let me use my fibs to get where we would exit the trade. Now, I'm looking for the prices gets into 103.570. So we could take our profits at 103.75 and we save there, leave room for spread 103.75 as we begin our journey to the downside. The last I look at is euro dollar pair, and for this pair, the same reduced volatility was seen, but more it played down more to the downside. Now, what I have here, I already drew my pitchfork. Now, what I have here, I'm expecting is prices to go back to test this broken support that we're turning resistance at 1.0942 area. So we could use the 4-hour time frame to get our entry. Yeah, now we just placed a buy stop at 20 pips above the high of Friday, which is at 1.0782. So 20 pips buy stop is saying we're entering at 1.0802, and we'll be heading to 1.09. That's for 100 pips. What price action does around there? If it breaks and closes above it, we're looking to get to 1.1025. Those are two key levels within that area. And we could still go higher based on price action, but with the volatility we have so far, we might not get really past that area. But just for your information, we're going with the buy. We're going to take our first profits at 1.0930. If we break and close above this area, we'll be looking for to get to 1.1025. And so with that said, that will be all for this week. I want you to stay safe, trade safely, use good money management. Click the like button if you like the video. If it's been beneficial to you, you could leave a comment if you want me to do some extra pairs other than what I do here. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.